You think you love your cat, but here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of the things you do to show affection mean absolutely nothing to him. Worse than that, some of your favorite ways to show love actually feel like a threat to his nervous system. Right now, while you're reading this, your cat has probably told you "I love you" dozens of times, and you missed every single one because you were waiting for a language he was never built to speak. Here's the thing nobody tells new cat owners. Cats did not evolve around primates. They didn't evolve around hugging, kissing, or prolonged eye contact, the way dogs did alongside humans for thousands of years. A cat's affection system runs on something older and quieter, built on distance, trust, and subtle body signals instead of physical force. So when you scoop him up for a big squeeze, or stare lovingly into his eyes the way you would with a partner or a baby, his brain isn't reading romance. It's reading restraint and confrontation, and that mismatch is the reason so many cat owners walk around convinced their cat is distant or independent or doesn't care, when in reality, he's been fluent in love this whole time. You just haven't learned to read it. Let's start with the single most misunderstood gesture in the entire cat world, the slow blink. When your cat looks at you and closes his eyes slowly, almost lazily, that is not drowsiness. That is the closest thing a cat has to a smile. Researchers at the University of Sussex studied this exact behavior and found that cats blink more slowly at people they trust, and that when humans mimic that same slow blink back, cats relax even further and are more likely to approach. So the next time your cat gives you that heavy-lidded, sleepy stare, don't just smile at him the human way. Soften your eyes, blink back slowly, and hold it for a second. You've just replied, "I love you too," in a language his nervous system actually understands instead of one he has to guess at. Now, think about the head bump, the one where your cat walks up and presses his forehead, or the side of his face against your hand, your leg, or your cheek. Most people assume this means "pet me" here. It actually means something much bigger. Cats have scent glands concentrated around their face, and when they bump you with it, they are marking you as part of their territory, their safe zone, their chosen family. That spot right between the ears and down the forehead is especially rich in these signals, and touch in that exact area triggers a release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone released between a mother and her newborn. That's why scratching your cat right there, instead of along the back or the belly, tends to produce a much deeper, calmer response. It's not just a nice scratch. It's biochemical bonding happening in real time. Then there's the tail, which most people treat as decoration instead of vocabulary. A tail held straight up with just the tip curled over like a question mark is one of the clearest greetings in the feline body language dictionary. It is the physical opposite of fear or aggression, and yet, because it doesn't come with a sound, a purr, a meow, anything humans are trained to listen for, most owners walk right past it without registering that they were just welcomed home. This brings us to the moment that causes more scratched hands than almost anything else, the belly reveal. When a cat rolls over and exposes his stomach, human instinct says he wants a belly rub because that's what it means with a dog. But a cat's belly is his most physically vulnerable area, protecting vital organs with almost no muscle or bone in the way. Showing it to you isn't an invitation to touch. It's the ultimate proof of trust, a declaration that he feels safe enough around you to expose his weakest point. This is where anthropomorphism actively works against you. We project our own idea of affection onto the gesture. We reach in for the rub, and the cat responds the only way his instincts allow, with claws. The correct response isn't to touch. It's to acknowledge it. with a soft voice, or better yet, that same slow blink you just learned, letting him know the message was received without forcing a reaction his body wasn't offering. Consider, too, the cat who follows you from room to room for no obvious reason, no food bowl waiting, no toy in sight. Unlike dogs, cats don't have a hardwired instinct to travel in a pack for survival. So when a cat chooses to be near you with nothing to gain from it, that's not a habit. That is an active, ongoing decision to seek out your company, made over and over, dozens of times a day. And most owners never clock it as affection because it doesn't look dramatic enough to count. Or think about kneading, that rhythmic pressing motion cats do with their front paws on a blanket, a cushion, or your lap. This behavior traces straight back to kittenhood, when kneading against their mother's stimulated milk flow. When an adult cat does this to you, years after weaning, he is unconsciously placing you in the same emotional category as his mother, the original source of comfort and safety. It's not a quirky habit. It's a callback to the most secure bond he's ever known, and he's inviting you into it. And finally, the most underrated signal of all, sleeping near you, not necessarily on top of you, just near. Sleep is the single most vulnerable state any animal can enter. Predators know this, prey animals know this, and cats, who are both, know it better than almost any other species. Choosing to power down completely in your presence rather than retreating to a hidden, defensible spot is one of the strongest trust signals a cat is capable of giving. It rarely gets acknowledged as love because it's quiet, and it happens while you're not even watching. But in feline terms, it might be the loudest declaration of all. So the next time your cat gives you that slow, heavy blink across the room, or presses his forehead into your palm, or simply curls up a few feet away and drifts off while you're working, understand what's actually happening. That's not indifference. That is a full, ongoing conversation conducted entirely without words. And now that you know how to listen, you'll probably never miss it again.